Man, you look awesome tonight.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Look at her skin. Just take a little look. It's beautiful.
Oh, honey, you're so sweet.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm serious. I'm not angling for it. I'm just saying you look
Your
pretty.
skin looks good too, honey. Little shadowy beard.
Little shadowy. No, you look beautiful. Little lip stuff going on.
I do. I got lipstick on. Lipstick.
Yeah, nice earrings. New Go-Go's
I got
t-shirt.
a Go-Go's t-shirt on that I got. So a little shout out to Gypsy Teal for my Go-Go's t-shirt. I saw it. They did it on Instagram, and I'm like, I gotta have that t-shirt because it's my color.
You looking good.
Yeah.
You look nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
And you're not even going anywhere.
No, not
The
going.
zip.
The zip.
Okay, well.
Yep. Hi,
We're
Mom.
back.
Mom,
We're
is that
back.
the right
We're
night
back.
tonight? My mom asked us last night where were we, and I
We
said
are
it's
back.
Wednesday.
Back after a few week respite, right?
Yep, but
We took a breather. We took some time off. We did some other things, and we're happy to be back chit-chatting tonight, right?
Yeah.
All right. So let's start like we always do, because I have a fun story to tell us, but let's start with you, because I think your situation's a little bit less exciting. What are you drinking tonight?
Okay, well, first of all, I'm drinking my regular wine, but I have to laugh because we did a pet peeve not that long ago. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Okay, and one of the things that was a pet peeve was sometimes when David Bullitt eats his meals, he doesn't clean up after himself.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm noticing there's a mushroom and some steak on the table from his dinner. And I'm laughing because we could combine the pet peeve with our show tonight. But anyway, I'm looking over here and
I don't see
seeing
any steak. Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah. Okay.
He didn't wipe down the table.
No,
but anyway.
I was in a hurry.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm drinking my Robert
clean it
Mondavi Bourbon Barrel, my go-to wine.
Your usual.
My usual. It's right
usual.
here. It's good. It's flavorful and it's inexpensive.
Okay. So I've got an awesome story.
Oh yes, you do.
So about 3 months ago, I was asked by my good friends at Banks Liquors here in Bethany Beach or Ocean View, Delaware.
Yeah,
I guess.
Ocean View.
And they asked me to participate in picking their own private select Knob Creek small batch. So I spent.
And how excited were you when
I was like peeing my pants.
Yeah,
it was like the most exciting thing since our grandkid, our youngest granddaughter was born.
Yeah,
it was just awesome. So I got to taste some stuff, and there was 4 or 5 of us up there, and we got to pick which ones we liked. And interestingly enough, everybody picked the same blend of whiskey. So Cammie Banks named it Knob Creek Knockout Unanimous Decision. And let me just tell you,
delicious.
it's nice. It's a nice. Yeah, it's good. So very happy. I bought a few bottles of that to tide me over as if I needed more bottles. But that's it. And then I had a little Stella.
And I did taste it because he participated in, sort of like bringing it to the shelf.
Delicious. I'll try to save some for my father-in-law when he shows up here.
You best have some of that for my dad.
Yeah,
he will like it a lot.
120 proof.
Oh, he'll love that.
Yeah, yes, sir. Good deal. Okay, so let's move on from the bourbon selection. So tonight we're talking relationship don'ts.
Yep.
Fox pose.
Yeah. What can really screw your relationship? What can you do to either show up in my office or worse, show up in your office?
It is worse in my office. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No. So what are we going to talk about? Right. So we came up with what we thought were our 10 top 10. Right. Mm-hmm. Relationship don'ts based upon things that we have seen.
Yep. And that we've done.
And that we've
and like not wipe off the table.
We've done it like not wipe off the table. Yeah, egg, there's a little mushroom, whatever.
Mushroom and steak.
A little steak. Yeah, I'll give it to dogs. And it's going to be quiet here tonight because we put the dogs outside with their frozen pumpkin pots.
Yeah.
So we're all cool tonight. No dogs.
Yeah, we might not have any interruptions.
All right. So let's start with you first. And we're going to go back and forth. We each picked 5. I know hers. She doesn't know mine. I want to make sure we didn't duplicate anything.
Okay.
So, all right. So you first.
Okay. So Kevin Murphy said At Pat's is coming.
At Pat's is coming?
I don't know
what that means.
I don't know, but please explain.
Explain.
Hi, Karen. Hi, Maria.
We'll keep an eye on the thread.
Yeah.
All right. So number 1 for you. And again, this is no particular order, right?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. First thing for you. Do not do this. If you want to say it again, go ahead.
Don't assume bad intentions.
Meaning
when somebody, like, for instance, I could think that you left your dinner there on purpose to annoy me.
I left you would think I left this little piece of mushroom
here. To annoy me. Okay? So I could think like you did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Instead, I am going to believe that it was an accident. You were rushing around to get set up for our show tonight, and you just didn't think about it.
Well, let's take it a little bit deeper than,
Okay.
other than mushrooms and steak.
Yeah.
Give them that's another.
Okay,
Another,
so somebody that maybe if I mopped the floor and then you came in with muddy shoes, you know, somebody might think, I might think, you know,
did it on purpose.
you did it on purpose. Like, what a jerk. You did it on purpose.
Okay.
Whereas, wow, you must not have realized you had mud on your feet.
So don't jump to the
Don't
negative.
jump to the
right?
negative, and I think it's really easy to do, especially if there's some tension in the relationship. It's easy to go in that direction of thinking somebody did something on purpose or to
Right.
make you mad.
He did this because
Yeah.
he's just trying to make me
Yeah.
mad, trying
Yeah.
to get under my skin. That
Yeah.
kind of- Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I took a few of mine from our book, right?
Okay.
So for me, the first one that came to mind was "Don't Wait for the Repo Man." And I saw my
Yeah.
friend Sandy Brooks was on. She's a divorce lawyer. She may or may not know what I'm talking about. But what I'm talking about is do not be in the dark when it comes to money. Don't be in the dark because that's going to A, create nervousness, B, create anxiety. Maybe they're the same thing. You should tell me that. And C, create conflict. And there's a chapter in our book about don't wait for the repo man, but that's what it reminded me of. Don't stay in the dark when it comes to money. That just can't be a good thing.
So talk about it.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Be
ask
aware.
about it.
Ask.
Yep.
What do we
Okay.
have? What do we need? I want to get this. Do we
Yep.
have enough money?
Yep.
Should we do that? Should we do this? Can we pay
Yeah.
for college? You know.
Yeah.
You know. We need to. People need to know what you got. Finances are important. We've talked about that a million times, and you gotta know what's going on.
Yeah.
So don't wait for the repo man.
Yep. Don't wait for the repo
Okay,
man.
yeah.
Okay. Me. Okay. So this one is not just for like couples, but I think it's an important like family rule.
Yeah.
To be careful not to assign blame, because I think that
Yeah.
when I kind of look back in some of like our family time and relationship time, I think that we can be, I want to say like a little blamey, like something happened, you know, well, I told you so, or that was your fault, or you should have known better, or whatever. And I don't really think it serves a purpose because it's, you know, it's usually something that already happened.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean
it's
by
kinda-
that?
Isn't it hard in the moment not to
It is hard.
blame someone
Yes.
if you think they did something they shouldn't have done?
Yes, but it doesn't help.
Especially if you told them not to do it?
Yeah, but it doesn't help the situation.
Of course not.
It doesn't help. So, and I think people like want to naturally go like, oh, well, that was his fault or that was her fault or whatever. But I think it's important to like hold your tongue and be like, you know, just like, okay, yep, that happened and that sucks and, you know, shouldn't have happened or whatever. But like not to be blamey.
Okay.
And I think that's a good family rule too. Like, you know, couples
Well, I think it's easy for people who spend a lot of time together, whether they're married, whether they're together, whether they're family, you know, fathers and daughters or siblings or whatever. It's easy to blame.
It is.
You
Yeah.
did this, I did that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think
So, yeah.
as a family we probably got like a C- on that. Like we probably were a little blamey, and I wish we had been better about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's always easy to look back.
But
and
it was
see
your
what-
fault.
Yes, yeah, it was my fault.
It was his
I
fault.
was the one that did all the blaming.
All the blame.
She's dumping it on me.
Yeah,
So
no. I
don't
think
blame.
both of us could have done better with that.
Okay.
So-
All right. Number 2 for me. Second one for me.
Yeah.
Don't withhold sex because you're mad, because you think it's a leverage.
Okay.
Because I'm not saying you do that.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting that because you don't. You just never mind. Okay. Okay, no, you don't do that. No, but
No.
I'm saying that you see that in relationships
Yes.
with regularity. I know it'll make her happy, so I'm not going to do it.
Right.
Because I want her to do this for me first.
Right.
Use it as leverage, as a bargaining chip.
Okay.
Right.
Don't
Yeah.
withhold sex or don't use sex as a
As a chip, as a tool,
okay.
as a lever to try to maneuver or manipulate someone.
So what should we use? Like I'm asking for a friend. Hi Sharon.
You
Hi,
funny,
Karen.
you
So
funny.
I'm asking for a friend.
So,
Like
friend,
what
what should you use? I don't know. You don't have much else.
You're
Not
right.
much.
You're right.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. You're out of clubs in that bag. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. But
okay.
anyway, seriously, that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a bad thing.
Okay.
I think you agree with that, don't you? To a certain degree?
I do. I do
Okay.
think it's important
Okay.
not to use that as a.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
You're
Okay.
right. Number 3 for you.
Don't be rigid.
Okay.
So
Meaning?
be more open to
Yeah.
what your partner like thinks or may want to do, or like I'm thinking about the RV when you wanted to like get an RV, and I thought
Still kind of do.
I know you do, but it's not a good idea. No, just kidding. So, but like try to be open to suggestions and experiences, even if you aren't the type of person that likes, maybe like somebody doesn't like change, but the other person does. Like try not to have the response of like no.
Okay.
Try to be more flexible in what your partner wants and needs, and they may have ideas.
Okay, I mean that's hard, right, for people
It
not
is
to
hard.
be
It
not
is
to, get,
really
to go
hard.
outside their sort of comfort zone,
Yep.
right? I don't want to go to.
I don't want
wherever.
Chinese food tonight, or I
Right,
don't want
right.
pizza, or
Right,
whatever. It could be little things, but it also could be big things, like moving to a new place, or going on a vacation to some place they've never been to, or trying a new food item. It could be, it could be big or small. But I think that when you're flexible, I think rigidity causes a lot of trouble in relationships. If one partner is rigid or both partners are rigid, then it can be very difficult.
I imagine that for people who have been together for a long time, and each person may have a certain rigidity. I mean, most people have some rigidity around something, right?
You do. No, I'm just kidding.
Stop blaming me!
I know.
Stop blaming me and don't withhold.
Hi, Zoe.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, people been together for a while,
Mm-hmm.
right? Have a certain degree of rigidity
Yeah.
as to something, whatever it might be.
Right. So, but I just think that if you try to be more flexible, if each partner, tries to be more flexible, it's going to help the relationship, and it's going to be a healthier relationship.
No, I understand that. Okay.
Yeah. So
All
that's
right.
good.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
My number 3 for me: don't use the silent treatment.
Oh, you hate that.
Well, I do hate that. I hate it personally, and it's the worst. And I said this before. I think it shows up in our book someplace. No conflict was ever solved by two countries who are at war not talking to each other.
That's true.
The only way they get solved is because they come together and they figure out how it's going to be resolved. Whether one side gives up or they come up with some sort of a treaty or whatever the case may be. And the same thing is in a relationship. Whether you're a parent. Don't not talk to your kid.
Right.
Whether you're a kid, don't not talk to your brother, your sister, your
Right.
mother. But in this context, when it comes to couples, I find that to be a really, really damaging thing that people do.
Yeah.
And we've heard it. What's going on with Charlie? And his wife says, I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a week. I'm not talking to him. Or he says, I don't know. She's a pain in the ass. I'm not talking.
Yeah, it's unhealthy. It's a sign of an unhealthy situation.
It is.
when
It's
people-
unhealthy. It's a sign of bad things to come.
Yeah.
And it's much better to just yell, get it out of your system,
Right.
or just do what you got to do and move on.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just awful. Don't do that. Don't do it.
Don't do the silent treatment.
No silent treatment. No.
Okay.
Bad. Okay.
Okay.
What's your 4th?
Don't keep score tit for tat.
I mean, like you were just blaming me for stuff.
No, like, oh, you
Yeah.
got to do this, and I'm going to do that, or you did do this, and I'm going to do that. Because I think that I see that a lot. Like, oh, she got to go to the gym, or she gets to work out, and she gets to, go with her friends someplace, and the other
You're not
person
keeping
doesn't.
score in a relationship.
Right, because I think especially if you have little kids,
Yeah.
I think especially that can be really dangerous. Plus, it can be inequitable. Is that the word?
Well, I mean, it doesn't bode well if what you're doing, rather than enjoying each other's company, is keeping a little notebook, mental or otherwise.
Like he did this, he did that.
Keeping track of what the other person did or didn't do, so that you want to be able to do your thing to catch up. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. And I think
and
that can be dangerous.
I think people do it. I mean,
I know they do it. I see it in my office all the time. So I'm going to say, don't. It's not like life isn't fair. Like it's not going to always be equitable, and you have to just deal with it. I thought you were getting the dogs nice and quiet.
Apparently, he ate his pumpkin pie. I don't know.
And Roxy's at the door too.
Oh, okay.
You can let her in.
Here, Roxy. Come here.
Yep.
She's deaf and can't hear me. Come on, Rox. There you go. All right,
There
she's
she
done.
goes.
Thanks
Okay.
for
All
saying
right.
something.
Okay. So no, don't keep the score and no tit for tat.
Okay. My fourth one also is a chapter, one of my favorite ones in the book. Don't bank the bitching.
Okay.
Okay. What do I mean by that? Don't stay quiet if you're mad. Talk about it, right? because here's what happens.
Is that like sort of like the silent treatment?
No.
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 Okay, how
This is
it
totally different. Totally different concept. The silent treatment is we're just not talking.
Right.
Don't bank the bitching is you do something that pisses me off. I don't say anything because I just say, okay, I'm not going to say anything. And then next week, something else happens.
Yeah, and then what
no,
happens?
I'm not going to say anything.
Then what happens?
And then after so much time, kablooey!
Yeah,
It
kablooey.
explodes. It explodes.
Yeah,
And that's what
kablooey.
happens.
Yeah,
That's what
explosion.
happens. So so don't put your complaints in a complaint bank because the bank isn't going to hold those complaints forever.
Well, it's
Sooner-
like a tea kettle. You got to let the steam
Well,
out.
see, that's exactly
You
right.
know?
Well, that's a good one. That's a good. You're so
Yeah.
good. You're so good.
I'm a therapist.
Yeah, but I mean, but it's true.
Yeah.
We see it happen.
No,
People say,
over and over.
oh, whatever he wants. Oh, whatever he wants.
And then-
oh, whatever he wants. And the next thing you know is kaboom.
Yeah,
he's
they're not
sleeping on the
talking,
couch.
and they're-
not talking. He's
Separation agreement.
Yeah,
They're going
might not
down
be
to
so
the
easy.
courthouse,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's all over.
Yeah, no, just get through it. If it comes
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
you figure out a way to get through it
Yeah,
in
so
a calm,
vent-
peaceful way.
Yeah, so venting is important in the relationship so it doesn't become combustible.
Yes. So long as it's
Right.
not aggressive or damaging
Right.
or abusive.
Right,
Yeah.
like if something's bothering somebody, they should say it versus like letting
Yes,
it,
I agree.
fester and letting
Yes,
it. Yeah,
that's my
'cause-
point.
Yep, I agree.
Don't bank the bitching. That was my metaphorical creation.
I love that.
You want to say how good that was?
That was really good.
All right.
Next time, wipe the table now.
Your fifth one. All right, we're down to our last two.
So this one, and I'm going to tell you why I picked this one.
All right.
So don't forget why and how you fell in love with your partner.
Okay, I won't.
Okay, and the reason why I say this is because as relationships move on, it is easy to forget that piece, and I think it's important to remember. And actually, I've talked about this before. A technique that couples therapists use is to help the clients go back to like, hey, tell me about when you first started, dating or when you first met, because it can help bring back those feelings, which are really intense, usually positive feelings that brought you together.
Right.
And I think it's, as day in and day out, especially throw a pandemic into the situation, I think that people get annoyed with each other, they get frustrated with each other, and that they see a lot of the negative stuff. And I think it's really important to say, you know what, I fell in love with them because of this and that, and those things are usually still there.
They should be,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have my last one, which sort of toggles onto yours.
Did you copy me?
No, it's a different way of looking at it, but
Okay.
it's a similar concept, which
Okay.
is don't let familiarity breed contempt.
Ooh.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we've all heard the phrase, right? Familiarity breeds contempt. What does
Yep.
that mean? The more you know somebody, the more time you spend with someone, the more you talk to them, the more you're around them,
Yep.
the more the negative stuff gets to you,
Yep.
and the bigger the focus on the bad or the negative, the thumbs downy stuff, than on the positive things, and that does happen. Right?
Absolutely.
That does happen. So
Absolutely.
don't let that fact that we spend all this time together, that we're with each other a lot, and there's a couple of things that bother you, which I know there aren't really any, except for the
never.
mushroom thing.
The mushroom steak on the table.
But don't let those overtake
Right.
all the positives.
Yep.
And in many of our relationships, the positives far outweigh the negatives. But what happens is the negatives are like a sore that you scratch at and keep getting bigger, and they start to move the others out. So it's a similar kind of
Yeah, it
idea.
is. It is similar.
But I think it's important.
I do too. I think it's important.
We've
to,
talked about that, where this guy did this or did that,
Yeah.
and you might say, well, listen, there's on balance.
Yeah,
This is a good
and-
person. He's
yeah,
this, he's
and-
that, she's this, she's that.
And I, on maybe not a daily basis, but I often say the things that I don't like about you sometimes are the things that I love the most.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with the steak and the mushrooms on the table. What I'm
Okay.
talking about is sometimes you're you kind of react. You're a little reactive.
Yeah.
And that annoys me. And most of the time, I want you to be patient.
Right.
But when something happens in our family that needs to be done and taken
Don't
care of,
protect.
I love that you're like, no, that's not going to happen. And you come in and you're like the big bad daddy and husband, and you take care of it. So some of the things that I don't like about you are the things that I love the most.
Okay, well, that's a little bit different, but it's kind of
Yeah.
So I want you to tell me more about the things that you love
Yeah, I'll
the
tell
most
you.
later.
I will later.
Right, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome,
Yeah.
honey.
I'll try not to be as reactive, except when I'm supposed to be.
Right.
All right. Okay. So
Yeah.
those are 10 relationship no-nos.
Don'ts.
There's probably others.
There's a lot of
But
others.
these are what we came up with,
Yeah.
and maybe what we should also toggle to
Yeah.
is relationship do's. What you should do. Maybe we should think about that for next time. Or
Can I just reverse my list?
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
talk
maybe
about
that'll
that.
look
And
good.
we are going to be coming up on our year anniversary of doing
Yes.
this couples happy hour. So
Crazy.
we're going to figure out the date, and then we're going to have some kind of celebration. We'll probably have
Yeah,
to
we start
dress
off.
up or
Yeah,
do
well,
something
we
fun.
start off doing little dress up things.
Yeah, maybe
right?
we'll do that again.
We can do that. Yep.
A
So,
themed
but
night. Maybe
almost
you
a
guys
year.
will dress up with us.
Hard to believe. It really is. It really is hard to believe. So listen. Thank everybody for joining us as
Thank
usual.
you guys for watching, for
Watching
being part of our
afterwards.
couples happy hour.
Sending us notes why we weren't on last week or the week before. How come they missed?
We
missed
miss
us,
you
that
too.
Sort of thing. So we're gonna keep rolling for the time being.
Yeah, if anybody has any suggestions
Oh,
of topics they want us to cover, we are open, and we've gotten some great ideas from our audience. So thank you so much. for-
Topics, and if people want to join us for one reason or another,
Yep.
we have some folks who've sent us some notes. So if you're interested in popping on with us,
Mm-hmm.
we now technologically have figured that out.
Yeah, we could do Zoom
Took us a
and
year.
bring it on. Yep. Yeah,
We
we're
can
all
do
good.
that. So
yeah.
yep. So anyways, and my shameless plug, of course.
Always
All right. So
shameless
listen. 90 Amazon reviews. I need 10 more reviews. 10.
Ooh,
We got to
10
hit 100.
more.
Then we get in that some wacky whatever
Yeah.
those things are that on Amazon. We got 90. Would love to get 10 more. If anybody is out there who's read
Yeah.
the book, that you don't even you just say
You put the
whatever you want to
stars.
say.
You don't
Put
even
the
have to say
stars up.
anything.
Just
Just
go.
give us stars.
Yeah, whatever
Yeah.
it is, or no, 1 star, 5 star, 5 stars better, whatever you want to do. But again, thank you all so much for contributing and for keeping an eye on us
Yep.
and telling us what you think about our book, and we're doing the best that we can, trying to do some more work on
Yep.
our next one.
Yep.
And peace.
Peace.
We are done and out. See you next week.
See ya.